Hello and welcome to Our Kids, brought to you by the Jefferson County Public Schools. I'm Ben Jackey. December ushers in the first day of winter, and with the change of season comes a renewed spirit of learning. This month, you'll see how our ESL students are increasing their learning thanks to their love for sports. We'll show you the impact some college kids are having on our kids' reading proficiency. And you'll see the lessons some of our high school students received from the Attorney General about staying focused on the road. Plus, we have these stories from our 5-star high school student correspondents.
Ballard Bruin students and staff rolled up their sleeves for another successful American Red Cross blood drive. I'm Ballard correspondent Julie Clark, and I'll have the story.
What is Class Act, you may ask? JCPS's very own Southern High School has a special program dedicated to it.
The ESL Newcomer Academy's goal is to welcome and engage students who have recently moved to the United States. The school has found a way to engage our English as a second language students with the international love of soccer by partnering with the YMCA.
All right, guys.
This is the third year of the program that we've collaborated with the YMCA Newcomer program.
What do you think it is? This is a JCPS school, but the students previously did not have much opportunity to really stay after school, be engaged in sports or clubs or anything like that.
And it's been a really awesome experience. It gives our children a chance to have extracurricular experiences that they weren't getting before.
Now you try number 3.
My name is Abdi. I'm from Somalia. My name is Ahmed and Ahmed. I was born in Ethiopia.
My name is Aimee. I was born in Burundi.
And I do homework, helping homework, and then I do to play soccer.
So our students, when they come to us, they are identified as beginning level language learners or English learners.
Number 11 this time.
They're coming to us just starting with English, and it's too much to just transition them directly to a regular school with a little bit of support because they're just learning English.
If you ask the kids what the purpose of the program is, they'll of course say it is to play soccer. But you know, on our end, it's including them in the after school just kind of culture to make them feel like students, American students in Jefferson County Public Schools, just like everyone else.
They help homework, and we eat snack, and we go to play and like soccer, dodgeball.
Soccer is my favorite, thing that I like. So.
Soccer isn't new to them. They've played soccer all their lives. It's not that they didn't have friends, they didn't hang out with friends in their home countries, but we're giving them something that they might not have access to otherwise, which is to compete on a sports team with a coach, have actual practices.
My favorite, thing is soccer, and that's why I'm staying in here, and I like, more experience about how to do homework.
This will be 7. Right, 7.
We work together, 6 students per table, and then 3 teachers. They work, they help us, and then we discuss together.
You have to solve for X, okay?
Okay.
A huge part of the program is that they get to socialize, which, a lot of the kids might live in places or have difficulty finding transportation or just not feel that they're being engaged in their communities. So it also on a social level just provides them the opportunity to have fun, talk to friends, especially during the sports portions of it, is practicing English. That's one of the quickest ways in which they're able to learn how to communicate with each other is through sports.
You can imagine how traumatic it is just for a teenager to move to the other side of the town into a new neighborhood. Well, here these kids have left grandma and best friends and have moved here, and their culture and everything they kind of know about how to get by, and then they have to acclimate to something new. So having, as I said, just extra support programs, not just playing soccer, but the whole camaraderie that goes with it and the friendships they develop.
I come here without friends, I am new and other people are new. You don't speak the same language. It is not very easy to find a friend, but when we start learning English, you can speak with her, and that's how you can be the friends.
We have many gifted students across the district. Today, we introduce you to the extremely talented Natalie Gibbons. Fern Creek student correspondent Marissa Metzger brings us the story.
My name is Natalie Gibbons. I've been dancing for 14 years. I started dancing when I was 3 years old. I now take tap, ballet, jazz, modern, and point classes. I've been taking tap since I was 3, and it's one of my favorite because it's something you don't really have to do a lot with your entire body, but it's really fun to articulate through your feet and make really cool beats that you normally can't make. And for ballet, I really enjoy how some of it can be not so classical. For point, it's really hard when you first start, but it was really fun. It's really fun whenever you start taking it and do more like a dance and you perform with it, because most people are amused when they see people dancing on their toes. For jazz, it's really just fun, and you learn a lot of techniques, and you learn how to lift people and do all sorts of cool things. For modern, I really enjoy how it articulates through my body as a whole. You get to express a lot of feelings and quickness and slowness and just movement throughout your body, and it can be really literal rather than just dance. We usually go to a few competitions every year. I usually compete my solo, which is a lyrical. A lyrical is a dance that goes more to the words of the song rather than the feeling of the song, but you have to really incorporate the feeling towards the audience so they're really into the character that you're building. I've been teaching since I was 13 years old, so I've been teaching for 4 years now. And I started demonstrating because you have to learn how to teach. You can't just tell the students what to do and expect them to do it. You really have to teach them how and what they have to do to get it. I started teaching little girls that were 3 years old, and I really, really enjoy the young age because they really look up to you and they want to be like you, and it's nice to be a role model for all of them. I now teach 5 classes total. I teach from 3 years old to 13 years old. I really enjoy the age range because they all have a different personality and they all dance differently. I really love the challenge of teaching all different ages because I have to actually connect with the older girls because they've had more teachers than just one teacher. So I really get to talk with them about life and dance and how dance will help them in life and how they can go far with dance. I really enjoy being enthusiastic for the children because they might not always have somebody cheering them on all the time. So I really want to be there and let them know that they're doing a great job and that they're really succeeding in what they're trying.
November and December have been a time of giving for our employees with the JCPS Gives initiative, which supports many local organizations that provide help to our students with the greatest amount of need. Recently, our students got into the giving spirit, offering one of the most precious gifts of all.
Students and staff at Ballard High School understand the life-saving importance of donating blood. That is why our fall drive was such a success. Students began signing in early, ready to roll up their sleeves and donate blood. Ballard has been involved with the American Red Cross's visit to the school for many years. There is even a student blood drive committee. Anne, who is a senior, donated blood. She explains the importance of giving.
The blood drive is really important because it's how people can donate blood during school. And it's really important to give blood because there's it's critical need in the world. It goes to patients, and last year we had over 250 units of blood donated, and that can go and save 350 patients.
Emma, who's also a senior, is a blood donor. She has been on the committee 2 years. She describes her role.
We help a lot with the people who are donating blood, as in if they're not feeling well, we give them snacks and refreshments. We help them if they're a little bit nervous to kind of calm them a little bit and that sort of thing.
As we get closer to the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, very critical time. Our supply is definitely low during those periods. People are not in school anymore. They are on vacations. They still go to the hospital. They still need blood. So right now we are in a period of time when we need to collect as much as we can.
115 units were collected in the fall blood drive. According to the Red Cross, Ballard is one of the top schools in the area for the number of blood collections. The spring blood drive is already scheduled for March. I'm Ballard correspondent Julie Clark for Our Kids.
We have a lot more stories about Our Kids coming up. Stay with us.
Do you need help providing school clothes for your child? The 15th District PTA Clothing Assistance Program can help provide uniforms and other clothing. Make an appointment with the Family Youth Resource Center at your child's school. Donations of new and gently used uniforms and clothing are also accepted. Call 485-7062 or 485-7450 for more information.
Both my parents have diabetes. Students really think that they are sort of invincible right now, and it's something that they'll think about in the future. I think that it's the actions and the decisions that we make right now that will really help us in the future, and that will determine whether we get diabetes or not. Hey kids, get out there, live a great life, but at the same time get to know the risk factors for diabetes and live a healthy lifestyle.
Welcome back. You're watching Our Kids, sponsored by the Jefferson County Public Schools. Doss High School got a special gift from a college in Ohio. The Tiffin University Dragons brought the Doss Dragons the gift of reading.
Well, we're at the Doss High School Library, and today we are receiving some donated books that Tiffin University and the freshman class has organized a book drive, and they're sharing their books with us. This is Dr. Collins, this is Dr. Wyatt, both from Tiffin University. They were the ones that kind of facilitated to help organize the book drive for us.
I was talking to my colleague about maybe some ideas that we could do that would be meaningful. I didn't want to just go through the motions.
It's Tiffin Dragons, and here we are, the Doss Dragons, so it's sort of the big dragons and the little dragons.
And it just seemed to me like it was cosmic, you know, it was meant to be. And so we came up with the idea of doing a book drive at our school to collect gently used books. And she told me she would have her book club students make a list of their greatest interests and the titles that they were most interested in getting.
Nick Sparks.
That was what we used in the collection process.
And I found Heaven is For Real, one of my favorites in a long time.
I have Harry Potter. I've read the whole entire series. I love Harry Potter. Like, I legit love it.
I mean, reading is pretty much fundamental to everything they do academically. The better they read, the better they will do in all their academic coursework.
And then Fault in Our Stars, fantastic book, cried. Ugh.
So if we can get them something they're interested in, something they can take home with them, something that they can keep.
And then The Maze Runner, I haven't finished this, but I'm reading it like right now. And it's really good.
This just gives them more an opportunity, more accessibility to the book.
It's good to be a reader because it's fun, entertaining.
Like, if you get into a story that's so good and it's just like out of this world, it gives people an escape. Like, if you're going through a hard time and you read a book that is about like witches, or you read a book that's like vampires or something like that, it gives you an escape, so you just get out of your life and you get to be into the book.
Most of these things that you can read are about past life experiences. You can learn off of those.
Maze Runner right here.
Yes. Writing and reading are self-teaching, self-learning processes. I want you to use all of the resources that are available, and there's a lot of different ways. One of the parts of our school's vision and mission is that our students become lifelong learners.
I've heard it's really good, but I've never read any of them.
Awesome. I love books. I do. I love reading books. I like reading a lot. And so I think it's like really, really awesome that we got these mini books.
It means a lot to me, knowing that people care about other schools.
Like, we want to tell our friends about it. If we find a movie that we really like, we want to tell our friends about it. If we find a book that we really like, we want to tell our friends about it.
And to meet someone to say, oh yes, I read that book and I really enjoyed it, or even I saw that movie, it gives us common ground then to talk about the same struggles, the same fears, the same joys that we all go through, and I think it helps us to make connections with humanity through that process.
Like when you look through them, you can tell they've been read. Like their spine is bent, and some of their pages are like bent and torn and kind of ragged a little bit. So you can tell that somebody loved that book so much that they read it multiple times. And I feel privileged that we actually got to have it. And yeah,
getting all of that, it's just amazing.
1, 2, 3.
Dragon Nation! JCPS's mission is to provide instruction that inspires. That's happening every day through our high school career themes. Fern Creek correspondent Sean Melius takes a look at the Class Act Federal Credit Union branch run by students at Southern High School.
And I am the lucky person that gets to be the advisor and teacher for the students in the Class Act Federal Credit Union program at Southern High School. We have a federal credit union as opposed to a bank in our school, which means that federal credit unions have members. They do not have boards of directors that are necessarily voted in. Things are voted on by our members when we make decisions. So it's one of the biggest things that distinguishes a credit union from a bank. We have 2 branches here at Southern High School. We have this main branch, which is the larger of the 2, and we have one smaller branch that the students are able to use at their lunch period. So we offer our staff and students the ability to do their transactions right here at school during their school day. We also have this branch where our community can come in and take advantage of our services as well.
I'm a senior right now, and I've been in business finance since freshman year. And whenever the credit union first opened, it made me want to join because it was hands-on experience. You know, everything was, you don't just get to sit in class and do work. You actually get to do the stuff, do transactions, and talk to people talk to the public and stuff like that.
What made me want to join the program is because I was interested in the financial field. So I wanted to gain experience in that so I could hopefully get a better paying job or skip a few steps later on down the road when I want to actually be working there. And my experience so far is I've liked it. I've liked going to training for like 4 hours or 6 hours a day, and we got paid to do it. So that was definitely motivation to go there and train.
There are a few things that we do not do, such as loans and things like that, but for the most part, your typical transactions can be done here just like you would at some of our other locations. We have locations throughout the city. Our main branch is on Fern Valley Road. We have a branch out at U of L where students at U of L are even able to work it into their class structure and be able to work out there. And then we have a brand new branch out on our east end, and it's off of Chamberlain Lane. So we have several branches. There is another branch just like this one that is at Doss High School. So their students also get to take advantage of this program.
The sky is the limit for our design students who have just a little bit of imagination. PRP correspondent Michele Wyatt gives us a tour along with students of an Airstream trailer created by the Columbus College of Art and Design.
Columbus College of Art and Design is here today to show us their new design for professionals on the go.
The persona was the creative mobile working professional. So that's anywhere from a documentary filmmaker to advertising graphic designer, advertising designer.
It's so exciting for a college like Columbus College of Art and Design to come to PRP and bring something like this here to show students the design thinking process. We've been studying that in the classroom, and this just ties everything together so well.
I want to be a graphic designer, and so like knowing that there's something like this in my future and like I could do something with this is awesome.
In reality, we want to walk students through this and say, like, whatever your major is, whatever you decide to pursue in the creative field, be it from fine art to cinematography to filmmaking, this is a type of project that you can be involved with.
It sounds so much better, like to be able to go straight into college and just to be able to work with real people and real things.
But then we also want to show it to students because a lot of creative professionals are more mobile.
For somebody like me, it'd be fun because you could take it anywhere you want it.
This project opens up different careers in design for students who may not think about industrial design or product design as a possible career choice. So it's a perfect blend of what we're doing in the classroom and stretching it to the next level. so they can start exploring those areas.
Don't go away, we have a lot more stories about our kids coming up.
The portal is your online link for information about your child's grades, test scores, attendance, career choices, and much, much more. It's a fast and easy way to stay on top of what your child is doing in school. If your child's teacher has set up a virtual classroom, you can log on to JCPS online and access grades for class assignments or communicate directly with teachers. The Parent Portal offers a convenient way you can stay involved in your child's education.
Know where you're going with the rest of your life? Well, what are you interested in?
I'd like to be a pilot.
We've got a class for that.
I like engineering.
We've got a class for that.
I want to save the environment. Do you have one for that?
Yep, that too. No matter where you plan to go in life, you'll get a good start in JCPS. Call the Parent Assistance Center to learn more. Welcome back. You're watching Our Kids, sponsored by the Jefferson County Public Schools. The Kentucky Attorney General kicked off the I Know Everything campaign at Jeffersontown High School. The students competed in an interactive quiz about the dangers of distracted and drunk driving.
Good morning again, class of 2015 seniors.
What I've learned the most is that you need to know what other people are doing, and just keep your mind not focused inside what's happening inside your car, but on the road.
We have a great presentation for you today, very important presentation for you today.
Distracted driving is anything that takes your eyes off the road, not paying attention to your surroundings, like the cars around you, and like using your phone, dancing while you're driving.
Motor vehicle crashes are still the leading cause of death among teens. We all know that this needs to change, and you're going to help us make that change. We're going around the country with the I Know Everything challenge to find out how much you really know about safe driving.
Texting and driving is a big thing. I know sometimes I can be guilty of it, but I do it mainly at stoplights. But like texting and driving, playing with iPods and stuff like that.
You're driving on a 2-lane road when you get a text on your phone. There's no one else on the road, so you glance at your phone.
This is something that like all of us are doing now, is driving. So they want to make it a point that we don't get distracted while we're driving, and we don't drink and drive, and that we don't or that we pay attention to the things around us.
Teens are getting the message that distracted driving is dangerous, but they still make the choice to use their phones. Go ahead and text, take your selfie, get on Instagram before you drive. That's fine. Just don't get on social media and do these activities while driving.
Our mind can't really process a lot, can only think about one thing at once, and it's really easy if one thing gets our attention, because it's just so easy by sound, sight, just you thinking in general can keep you distracted.
Things like that like kind of get to me, and like, because knowing that could be my friend one day.
Question 11. Driving with a friend who is distracting you. Would you 1, stop the car and tell your friend to get out?
Some of the things just like will make me like rethink what I do in the car, and what tell my friends not to do those things, especially if I'm driving with one of my friends. Like if they pick up their phone, hey, put your phone down, or if they like start messing with the radio, hey, I got that.
You know we don't pull you out of class often, but that's how important the message you will be hearing today.
You may be safe in a car. You may adhere to everything that you're taught here today, but you have to be on the lookout. When you're in a car, you have to be defensive. It's not the way you're driving a car. It's watching out for everybody else that's out there.
Making sure that people don't do that stuff is very important to me now.
Lights, cameras, and learning. Alexis Smith takes us to the Louisville Festival of Film to see how JCPS 5-star media students are using their skills at this international event.
Students at Fern Creek High School are using the skills that they learned in the classrooms today in the real world at Louisville's Film Festival.
Fern Creek students Devin Gurley and Justin Smith discussed the skills they obtained from the Fern Creek Telemedia Department that allows them to be capable to go out and get coverage of this event.
Telemedia has prepared me for how to meet deadlines. It has also helped me communicate with others better, learn what to do in the studio in terms of making shots, editing, and how to compose yourself outside of class.
I had a lot of fun here recording at the Louisville International Festival of Film.
Students at Fern Creek go out to all the events that Louisville's International Film Festival hosts and film the events. Fern Creek is a partner school with Louisville's International Film Festival. They have been since 2009. This is just another example of how career and technical programs are preparing students for life after high school. For our kids, I'm Fern Creek correspondent Alexis Smith.
Recently, you may have seen a rocket destined for the International Space Station with supplies and experiments go up in flames. Well, thankfully for a group of Academy at Shawnee students, a rocket sent months earlier successfully transported their experiment, and now they're presenting their findings.
We decided to study the fermentation on honey using yeast because of all the potential uses that it has, such as antiseptics, fuel, or even beverages.
Our research was inspired by a previous experiment using grape juice instead of honey. Investigators observed no significant difference in alcohol production between microgravity and Earth's gravity. We chose honey in our experiment because it's more viscous or thicker than that of grape juice.
For our experimental design, our independent variable was the amount of gravity. Objects on the ISS experience freefall, which would significantly reduce the effects of gravity on our sample.
Each tube used a solution of honey and water, yeast, and a small volume of formalin to kill the yeast after the experiment was finished.
While we mixed our substance in the control tube on Earth, astronauts on the ISS did the same to our experiment tube.
We received our tube from the ISS last Friday. Our next step will be to harvest its contents and conduct serial dilution in order to determine the percent alcohol by volume. To measure percent ABV, we will be using an instrument called a refractometer. We are excited for the next steps in the experimental process, and we can't wait to communicate our results.
In Our Kids News, the University of Louisville's Signature Partnership Program has received a $5 million gift from the Mary Kay Oxley Foundation to boost teacher preparedness, retention, and professional development at 5 JCPS schools: the Academy at Shawnee, Westport Middle, Atkinson, Cochran, and Portland Elementary Schools. A matching $2.5 million gift is provided by the U of L Foundation.
Their funding will sustain these programs into the future. This is an extraordinary gift. It is an investment in these young people.
And don't forget that the application period for the 2015-2016 school year is going on right now and running through January 9th. Online applications are available on the district's website, as well as at the registration and application site on Bishop Lane. You can find more information at www.jcpsky.net or by calling 485-3323. Well, that's our show for today. We hope you've enjoyed it. You can find full episodes of Our Kids on the JCPS YouTube channel. We leave you now with the sounds of the Ballard High School Jazz Band. Until next time, keep supporting our kids.